Jaya Vinde, Jaya Vinde, Jaya Vinde, Jaya Shri Vinde. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giribara Lari, Jaya Giribara Lari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Giribara Lari, Jaya Giribara Lari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya, Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya, Jaya, Prabhupada. Jai. Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Ho Vishnupad Paramhansa Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Srimati Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories, All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Radha Goloka Nanda Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 66th chapter, and today we'll read verses 19 and 20. Ataha pandrakam sharir. Ataha pandrakam sharir. Bhobo pandraka yad bhavan. Duta vakyena mamaha. Tani astrani utsrijami te. Ataha pandrakam sharir. Bhobo pandraka yad bhavan. Duta vakyena mamaha. Tani astrani Utstrijam te. Ataha pandrakam sharir. Bhobo pandraka yad bhavan. Duta vakyena mamaha. Tani astrani uttrishyami te. Ataha pandrakam sharir. Kam sharir. Bhobo pandraka rasu. Duta vakyena mama. Tani astrani uttrijami te. Strani ustrami. Ladies? Taha pandrakam sharir. Duta vakyena mama. Tani astrani uttrishyami. Vaishnavis? Taha pandrakam sharir. Bhobo pandraka yat bhavan. Duta vakyena mama. word for word meaning. Atah, then. Ah, said. Pandrakam, to Pandraka. Shori, Lord Krishna. Bhobo Pandraka, my dear Pandraka. Yat, those which. Bhavan, your good self. Duta, of the messenger. Vakyena, through the words. Mam, to me. Aha, spoke about. Tani, those. Astrani, weapons. Utrishchami, I am releasing. Te, onto you. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna then addressed Pandraka. My dear Pandraka, the very weapons you spoke of through your messenger, I now release onto you. Please repeat. Lord Krishna then addressed Pandraka. My dear Pandraka, the very weapons you spoke of through your messenger, I now release onto you. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes as follows in Krishna. At this time, Lord Krishna told Pandraka, Pandraka, you requested me to give up the symbols of Lord Vishnu, specifically my disc. Now I will give it up to you. Be careful. You falsely declare yourself to be Vasudev, imitating me. Therefore, no one is a greater fool than you. From this statement of Krishna's, it is clear that any rascal who advertises himself as God is the greatest fool in human society. So now I'll just read verse 20 and read the translation. Tyajasya Vidanam me tat tvayajnam rishadritam prajami sharanam te adya yadi nechami samsugam. Tyajavishya, I will make you renounce. Abhi, Danam designation. Me, my, yat, which, Tvaya, by you, Ajna, O fool, Misa, falsely, Dhritam, assumed, Vrajami, I will go, Sharanam, to the shelter, Te, your, Adya, today, Yadi, if, Na ichhami, I do not desire. Samyugam, battle. Translation, O fool, now I shall make you renounce my name, which you have falsely assumed, and I will certainly take shelter of you if I do not wish to fight you, or if I do not wish to defeat you. Srila Prabhupada writes as follows, now Pandraka, I shall force you to give up this false representation. You wanted me to surrender unto you. Now, this is your opportunity. We shall fight, and if I am defeated and you become victorious, I shall certainly surrender unto you. Om Jnana Trimandasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshuranmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Bino Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhuvaevacha Patitanam Pamnebhayo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. So verse 20, Lord Krishna then addressed Pandraka, my dear Pandraka, the very weapons you spoke of through your messenger, I now release unto you. So with the permission of all the Vaishnavas here, I'd like to speak something that may make sense. Before we do that, we're just going to read Jiva Goswami's commentary. After armies were destroyed, when all obstacles were completely removed, Krishna, who had appeared in a warrior dynasty, Shauri, Swayam Bhagwan, laughed, Bobo. I now release on you those weapons which were mentioned by your messenger. And the verse 20, O fool, now I shall make you renounce my name, which you have falsely assumed, and I will certainly take shelter of you if I do not wish to fight you. And Jiva Goswami says, you told me to give up my false name. I will make you renounce my false name. Tyaja, give up, can have a causastic meaning. Make you give up. Thus Krishna says that he is giving another meaning to Pandraka's words. You should act according to messenger's words. Yes, on seeing you today, I will surrender according to your words if I do not fight. Instead of Adya today, sometimes Agna, fool, is seen. By this, Krishna mocks him. So, yesterday, Krishna Prabhu spoke at length about the actual, the weapons, and in particular, about the Sudarshan Chakra. So, I think today I will concentrate primarily on the fool. Prabhupada in the Krishna book calls Pandaraka the fool, and Krishna himself in this verse, he calls him Agna. Agna, O fool. And why is he a fool? Because he has falsely assumed the name of Vasudeva and has tried to falsely claim to be Vasudeva and is trying to get the form of Vasudeva. So, by being called a fool by Krishna is a pretty strong thing. It's not very often that we hear, Krishna doesn't quite use this word fool very often. And Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that it is this statement is basically at the core of this impersonation, which is the impersonation as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada has always, throughout his writings, has talked about how those who impersonate as gurus or as Krishna or as God are total fools and rascals. And that is because they lack basic spiritual knowledge. They're spiritually ignorant. Pandarka was a king with all these worldly powers. We have all these wannabe kings around in our world. And they want to claim all this worldly power. They think they control the world. Pandarka was such a king. But he thought it's not just the world he controls. He controls God. He controls Krishna himself. And Krishna just cuts right through the chase. He cuts through all these material titles, prestige, and he just attacks his ego, his pride, and basically pinpoints to the fundamental lack of spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada has taught us, we're so fortunate, that the true spiritual knowledge begins with an understanding of one's position as the eternal servant of God, not God himself. And Pandaraka's foolishness was multiplied by the fact that he was surrounded by all these sycophants, just people who encourage his delusion. And that's the same with our so-called kings in the material world right now, not just Pandaraka in the ancient times, in Krishna's times, more than 5,000 years ago. But now, these days, every day we are surrounded by them. And they in turn are surrounded by all these foolish people who bow down to them and glorify them so that they get these bigger and bigger egos. And they start behaving like Ishwar, controller of the world. And Krishna, in this verse, he's exposing these kind of hypocrisy, false claims, and just decrying this society of fools, cheaters, and the cheated. The cheaters would not survive if they weren't the cheaters. I mean, if the cheaters would not survive if there weren't the cheaters. Okay? One cannot exist without the other. So, Krishna basically is calling him a fool to highlight the whole absurdity of the statement. I mean, of Pandaraka's statements that he is God, Krishna should surrender to him, and all those things that we read about earlier. And the absurdity of Pandaraka to think that he can acquire all of the opulences of the Lord by external imitation, material imitation. And that he could become God by just imitating. So why is this happening? I mean, Krishna is having a great time. Okay? He's like, and so are all of his court. Everybody in the court is having a wonderful time. Because when you have the knowledge, it's easy to see that is nonsense. That is foolish. And this is the truth. And so this whole thing of Pandraka is really fueled by false ego, false pride. In himself, he's full of it, and all of his people who are pumping him full of it constantly. And Krishna, first he rebukes him, and then as a divine intervention, essentially, gets rid of him, as we will see later. So it's like Krishna is basically saying, you fool, you who has assumed falsely my names, my symbols, my weapons, you or anyone who imitates me is a blind fool. And he this is something that we keep hearing over and over again from Prabhupada. Krishna may say it once, Prabhupada throughout keeps repeating it. And Prabhupada says that nowadays people are so foolish, so ignorant, that they can be so easily misled by the so-called gods and so-called guru. And we've been also hearing about how Krishna comes to protect his devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, the false pretenders. And here in this verse we see Krishna doing both. And so he is, Prabhupada says that it is our duty not to be a fool. Doesn't matter how much, it's not a product of our material intelligence. It is a product of our spiritual intelligence. We can be total fools in the material sense. Doesn't matter. But we should not be fools in the spiritual sense. Which means we have to zero in on the spiritual reality, which is, we're not God. We're part and parcel of God. We are servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Dasa dasanudasa. In Chaitanya Charitamrita 1380, Lord Chaitanya recites this, recites this verse which is been documented in Padyavali which is, I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya. It's Naham Vipro na Chan Narpati na Pivyasa na Sudra. Naham Varini na cha Griha Patir no va nasto yatirva. Kintu Pradoyan Nikhila Paramananda Purnam Tambar Gopi Bharatu Pada Kamala Yor Dasa Dasanudasa. Says, I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanaprastha or a sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. And this is being quoted by Lord Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada says says about this particular verse, he says, because we think, or the world in illusion thinks that we may be a householder, we may be a brahmachari, we may be Americans, we may be Indians, we may be, Americans with the powers, bully everybody in the world, or, just everything. That's because we want to enjoy independently of the Lord. And this example of Pandaraka, in the middle of this wonderful Krishna Leela, is to give an example, like basically to get us kind of come to terms with the reality that we are constantly surrounded by the material energy, Maya, and we need to protect ourselves from that material energy. And in Srimad Bhagavatam lecture of Prabhupada's in Montreal in 1968, Prabhupada says that we really need to have our spiritual understanding very clear that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that we should never forget Krishna, and we want to do things not for our sense gratification, because that is Maya, but for Krishna's pleasure, which he calls liberation. So the difference between Maya and liberation is the sense gratification for self-pleasure and doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. Prabhupada says, so that means he's talking about following Krishna's direction. That's all. He doesn't mind that. I am going to be enemy of Krishna. The principle is that he is following. So when demons have acted in Krishna Leela as Krishna's enemy, it's because they're following Krishna's desire. And that's the reason, like even here, I don't know the background on Pandaraka, but here also Pandaraka gets liberated because he is ultimately following Krishna's desires, participating in Krishna's Leela. So, if Krishna says, you become my enemy, I can become his enemy. That is bhakti yoga. That is our ultimate goal. Yes, I want to satisfy Krishna. Just like a master is asking servant that you knock me here. So he's knocking like this. So that is service. The others may say, oh, he's knocking and he's thinking I'm serving. What is this? He's knocking. But master wants that. You knock me, that is service. Service means that you obey the order of the master. It doesn't matter what it is. There's a very nice example in Lord Chaitanya's life that he had his personal servant, Govinda. So after Lord Chaitanya would take prasadam, then Govinda would take prasadam. So one day Lord Chaitanya, after taking prasadam, he laid down himself on the threshold. What is it called? Threshold, doorway. Yeah, that's right. I'm just reading Prabhupada. So Govinda crossed him. Govinda used to massage his legs after, when he was taking rest. So Govinda crossed Lord Chaitanya and massaged his legs. Then Lord Chaitanya was sleeping. And after, say, half hour or so, when he got up, he saw Govinda. Govinda, you have not taken your prasadam as yet. No, sir. Why? No, sir. Why? I cannot cross you. You're lying down here. Then how you came? I came across. How you first of all came across, why not again crossing? That I came to serve you. And now I cannot cross you to take my prasadam. That is not my duty. That is for myself. And it is for you. And this first crossing was for you. So for Krishna's pleasure, you can become even his enemy. You can become his friend. You can become anything. That is bhakti yoga. Because your aim is how to please Krishna. And as soon as that point comes to please your senses, then you come to material world immediately. So that is the whole transition, that quickly. This is in that verse from Prema Vivarta. Krishna bahirmukha hana bhoga vancha kare nekatasta maya dhare japatiya dhare. As soon as we forget Krishna and we want to do things for our sense gratification, that is maya. And then as soon as we give up this process of sense gratification and do everything for Krishna, that is liberation. And it is this kind of desire for sense gratification, which is maya, that leads us to all these, us means human, to these desires to pretend to be controllers, Ishwar, Pandraka as God, and continue doing that until we come to a realization that all we are the servant of the servant of servant of Krishna. And our purpose is to be Krishna conscious. And I think we are at the end. Well, in the material life, I'm just giving you in material life where he was he was acting under the material influences, because without that, he couldn't even act as Krishna's enemy without the influence of the material nature. But I think by the fact that he was actually killed by Krishna and got liberation, he had to have served Krishna somewhere. He had to be a servant of Krishna, because not all of us can get killed by Krishna. Just like that and get liberation. So I think he was both. He was acting as, not as a servant, he was acting as a fool in the material world. He did, of Jairus' son, sorry. Putana, yes. Of Putana and all the demons. And so, and Jai Vijay, in various incarnations, they were servants of his, but they had to act as enemies to get, because at Krishna's desire. So they're both. I don't know if you know, I really didn't have time to research Pandraka's previous births or why he got this liberation. So, but we see that in the previous ones too. I mean, what was that? The one that come recently, the one who was sleeping in the cave and Krishna disturbed him, and then Krishna killed him because he had this benediction. Kalyavana, yeah. Well, Krishna didn't kill him, but Krishna woke him up. And yeah. But he did get liberation, right? No? That's true. Sorry, yeah. Muchakunda got liberation. Sorry, I'm confusing the two. Yeah, thank you. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. I know, he just missed out. Yeah.
That was because Krishna didn't want to give him.
Exactly.
Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Pasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham
Yasomadina Nagara Gokula Ranjanakana Yasomadinandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjanakana Yasomadinandan Gokula Ranjanakana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadama Navidana Kaliyadama Navidana Namala Harinama Miya Vilasa Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa Vipinam Purandaran Navinaga Nagarabara Vamsivadana Suvasa Vipinam Purandaran Navina Nagarabara Vamsivadana Vasa Vipinam Purandaran Navina Nagarabara Vamsivadana Suvasa Vipinam Purandar Navina Nagara Vamsivadana Suvasa Braja Jana Palana Surakula Nashana Jajana Palana Rabula Nashana Braja Jana Palana Surakula Nashana Jajana Palana Suramu Nashana Nanda Godana Rako Wahala Nanda Godana Gowahala Nanda Godana Rako Wahala Nanda Godana Govinda Madhava Navamita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navamita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navamita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navamita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasana Kripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Muna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara, 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 Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Yasomati Nandana Brajaparanagara, Gokula Ranjana Kana, Yasomati Nanda Brajaparanagara, Gokula Ranjana Kana, Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa, Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa, Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa, Amala Harinama Miya Vilasa, Madhava Navanita Taskara, Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara, Sri Radha Vallabha Natabara, Sri Radha Vallabha Natabara, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Bhakati Vinoda Shraya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha, Golokananda Radhe, Radha Golokananda Radha, Golokananda Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha, Nanda Jaya Radha Golokananda Nanda Radha Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai, Jai 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 Shri Radhe Sham. Lord Krishna is beloved son of Yashoda, transcendental lover in the land of Braj, the delight of Gokula, known by the nickname Kana, the eyes of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid, and punisher of the serpent Kalia. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braj, ever full, player of the flute, an excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braj, destroyer of the demonic dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj, wanderer of the Yamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Chaitodarpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Sarvatma Snapanam Parmidayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dordaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amani Namana Dana Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatag Bhaktir Ahoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Gribaya Davabada Pankaja Astita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nayanam Gadarshu Daraya Vadanam Gad Gadarudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vabukada Tavanamaha Today Yugayatam Nimishena Chakshusha Bravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlisha Vabatam Manamastumam Adarshanam Marmahatakarotuva Yatatadava Vida Datu Lampato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others